Hey guys, and welcome back to another season of Discovery gold making video. In this one, I'm going to be showing you a really good AOE farm to do. If you have a mage, this will work best on a mage, and also it's mainly a spot for the alliance, especially if you're on a PvP server, because you're going to be over in wetlands, and you're going to be in wetlands at this exact location. We're going to be farming the mobs, and now there's a whole heap of them really close together that you can AOE farm. You're going to be making steady gold from the silk cloth and the wool cloth, also the raw gold that drops from the mobs. You're also going to be getting a bunch of patterns, plans, and recipes from these guys, and they also drop a bunch of really good blue BOEs, and they also drop a whole heap of really good green BOEs. Now all of the BOEs are in the best range level for the BOEs that we can get in phase 1, because they're going to be around level 20 to 25 BOEs, which are the highest level we can obviously get at the moment. So some of them are some of the best BOEs that are in the game at the moment, which sell for a lot of gold. But the main thing about this farm is that there's a bunch of these mobs very close stacked together. So if you have a mage, this is going to be obviously a lot better on a mage, because you have the ability to actually AOE farm these guys. Now, one thing that is quite annoying when doing this farm is that they can actually root you, and if you're not ready to either blink out of that, or if you're not a gnome and you can't escape artist it, it can get a bit annoying, especially if you haven't got them all stacked up correctly. But as you can see, I believe the stun or the net lasts for 9 seconds, so it's a very long stun, or not even a stun, it's just it like roots you in place. So you got to keep into consideration that can happen, and if you want to run away, it can actually get very annoying. So we just got a nice green BOE dagger just there, only 40 silver, but you can get some that are worth a lot of gold, especially the blue BOEs. Some of them are worth like up to 20 gold each if you're lucky enough to get some of the good ones. Also, the recipes from here are very useful recipes, and they sell very quickly up on the auction house, especially if you get ones that are below skill level 150. You can actually get a few from here that are over 150 skill in professions, so they obviously can't be used until phase 2, but if you get the ones that are under 150, they should sell very quickly up on the auction house. As you can see though, the root does get very annoying, especially if you just got rooted and you blinked out of it, or you used escape artist and then you get rooted again, so you can't like keep on moving and get out of the second one. But as long as you can pull all the mobs before you get rooted, or use like your blink and your escape artist, you should be right to do actual decent pulls and pull more of the mobs. Now the majority of the mobs are level 27 to 28, so you shouldn't have any trouble whatsoever farming these guys, especially if you've got some decent gear. But as you can see, we are getting a bit low on this exact pull, and there are some pulls where you can pull even more mobs than what we did just there, and that can get a bit tricky. You just want to make sure that you've always got your regeneration up, and that you're also healing with your living flame. So living flame is a must when doing the big pulls here, because what you're going to be doing is healing off your living flame, and that is how you're going to actually be able to survive pulling so many of these mobs, because they do actually do a decent amount of damage for their level, so you need to keep that into consideration. Now you could come here and farm this with a friend, especially if you had like a friend that is playing on a healer class, and you can do some really big pulls, and you can AOE them down while your friend heals you. But I found it works pretty good if you're just doing a solo, and obviously you don't have to share the loot with anyone if you do it solo, where if you did it as a duo, then you'd obviously have to split the loot with your duo partner. So I'd highly recommend learning how to do this solo, and learning how to do really big pulls, AOE pulls, and you should be able to make a lot of gold. From a few hours testing, some hours were like 10 gold, some hours were 15 gold, so it all depends on just how many mobs you farm, and the main thing that will increase the amount of gold is which BOEs you actually get your hands on. So if you get like some bad BOEs, you're probably going to be looking at more around like 10 gold, but if you get some really good BOEs, you could probably make upwards of over 20 gold per hour from doing this. It really depends on which BOEs you get, but you are going to make some steady gold from the silk, the wool, and also just the raw gold that drops from these guys, because they are humanoids, so you're going to get a bunch of just straight raw gold from farming these. Especially with the amount of numbers that you're going to be farming, you should be getting a lot of kills per hour at this location. However guys, that was it for this video. If you enjoyed, hit the thumbs up button. Also, if you'd like to learn more about making gold in Season of Discovery, you can find all of that inside of my Season of Discovery Gold Guide, which will be the first link down below in the description box, which is currently catered to Phase 1 at the moment, but as soon as Phase 2 comes out, you'll be updated for that with all the best gold making methods for Phase 2. Until next one, take care.